enzymes. All right, so we're going to review enzymes a little bit. Enzymes we learned about at the beginning of last semester, so it's been a while. But first, catalysts. These are substances that speed up the rate of chemical reactions. Enzymes, then, it's just a little bit more specific. These are catalysts that are found in living things. So there's lots of enzymes working in our body right now to carry out all sorts of functions that we need to do. But let's first look at how an enzyme works to remind ourselves of this. So the enzyme is this purple structure. And so you'll notice that the enzyme looks the same here as it does at the end here, and that's because enzymes can keep getting used over and over and over again. So they don't break down in the reaction, they can get used again. What binds to the enzyme is called the substrate. And so this chemical reaction that's being sped up is this substrate is getting broken down into two smaller molecules. So the enzyme speeds that up. The substrate binds with the enzyme, and you can see enzymes have a certain structure so that a certain substrate will fit into that, okay? So each enzyme binds with a specific substrate. They don't work for everything. So this substrate binds into here. Together, they're called the enzyme substrate complex. And then it speeds up the reaction that breaks these down into products. Oops, that's a no. And here we still have our enzyme, and it's ready to do this again if needed. All right, so now I'm going to give you guys some examples of enzymes in our body. One is called trypsin. And this is an enzyme, it's in our intestines, and it breaks down proteins into amino acids. So if you remember, amino acids, those are the building blocks or the monomers of proteins. And so when we eat protein, this is one of the enzymes that starts to break that protein down in our intestines, or that speeds up the reaction of that protein being broken down. Another example, a group of enzymes called lipases. And these are also in our intestines, and they speed up reactions that break down fats in our food. Another example is amylase. This is found actually in our saliva. In our spit, there's amylase. And so when we eat starches, so say I'm eating French fries, okay? That's starch. And amylase speeds up the reaction in my mouth of that starch starting to get broken down into simpler sugars. So remember, carbohydrates, they're made up of the monomers simple sugars. And so those molecules are already getting broken down in our mouth by these enzymes in our saliva before we even swallow. Amazing. So we rely on enzymes for lots of things. These are just a couple examples.